on the Drive Time News. It's a pleasure to have with us former UND great and also the Assistant General Manager, Director of Hockey Ops for the Fargo Force, who have a big weekend this weekend, Cary Eades. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thanks. It's great to be on. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, too. I loved your Facebook post for all those that are friends with you on Facebook wearing the orange and black last week. You know, as a person who's been involved in high school hockey, since your playing days and assistant coaching Warroad and many, helping out in all different levels of hockey, it is amazing how the region really got behind the Spuds. And I guess you look at Section 8 at A, too, East Grand Forks. What a fun weekend it was last weekend. And one of the really jewels of, I think, American sports is the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Absolutely. It's a showcase like none other. They drew over 20,000 fans Friday night and Saturday night, outdrew all the NHL teams. It's a spectacle. Unfortunately, I missed my first one since about the mid-'80s, but, watch a lot online. It was great. It was a pleasure to watch with Mark Chahaki, a friend of mine that is from Moorhead. He was on the Spuds' first high school team, and we live in the same area down here in Phoenix, and we got together to watch the game, and he couldn't have been more thrilled.
It is something, you think about it too, and obviously one of the part owners, Matt Cullen, and you think about his father, and it took a Force player now, and Brooks Cullen, the third generation. You think about Terry planting that seed. What a great story, right? And it's great to have a Fargo Force connection with that as well.
It's unbelievable. Got to know a lot of people in the Moorhead area. We've had a lot of their players over the years, and it's just, for Terry Cullen, Terry Shercliffe, Dennis Bushy, all these guys, Dave Morinville, you can just rattle off names that just gave their heart and soul to the program and built it to what it is. And, Coach Ammerman and Matt Cullen and the group getting over the hump this year, finally getting that state title is really exciting. I think that, it's been everyone's had a part of the process. Everybody shares in it. And, I know they had a lot of fans across the world cheering for them, and it was really nice to see. And then, Tyler Palmestino and his East Grand Forks crew to, have a tough season, rebound, and go on a heck of a run in the playoffs. It was really exciting. Section 8, Northwestern Minnesota has kind of dominated the state tournament this year. They got bragging rights.
Yeah, it certainly is a lot of fun. And I do believe coming up tonight, the Fargo Force at home against Muskegon. And, this weekend, a big weekend tonight and tomorrow night. And I know that the Spuds are going to be featured pretty well, including obviously a young man who's going to go right from the state tournament. And he's going to get on the ice, and Brooks Cullen, too. What a fun scenario that is for the Fargo Force organization.
Well, it really is, and we're expecting out of Mason West, the Edina player. They got 3 goals against Moorhead in the semifinal game. He's a unique player, 6'5", 6'6", that can really skate. So it's going to be fun to have these new players enter our lineup and, bolster us a little bit, especially in the scoring area, which has been a struggle for us. And we'll have some others join us next week. So, this is kind of in the plans as to why we made some moves to open up some ice time for these young players. And, hopefully they can, assimilate into the USHL level right away. Sometimes it takes a little time, but we're hoping to give us a boost, and it's definitely going to be a great experience for them as they look to solidify their spot and solidify our team for next season.
That is really crazy to think that two of the big stars from a week ago in the semifinals with Edina and Moorhead be playing together. I mean, how unique is that? And it's really what makes this sport unique as well.
Yeah, and I didn't mention Zach Zimmerman as well, another Spud player, and those 3 players had 6 of the 7 goals in the 4-3 victory for the Spuds. So, Fargo Forest future prospect shone bright that night. But it's an exciting time for us. It's really a thrill to have, the majority of the Spuds team and coaching staff at the game tonight. It's a nice way to honor them. Hopefully they'll get a big crowd and give them a standing ovation because they sure deserve it. I don't know if, people fully realize the pressure that was under the staff and the players as they moved along, especially when Hill Murray got knocked out in the sections that made them the number 1 seed. So everybody was gunning for them. They had the big, gorilla on their back, and they definitely have gotten rid of that. So kudos to them for not only winning it, but winning it under, a great deal of pressure and handling all that with class.
Yeah, well, and I think, you go to so many connections. I think about John Ammerman, his father Chip, who's so big in the youth program. I mean, I could be here for 2 hours, talking about all the people that this means so much to, because that program over the past 30 years has been a lot of, it takes a village, as they say, and that's been a pretty big village to get to that point finally, right?
No question about it. A huge village, and, it's an absolute hockey factory. The Mike youth program all the way down to the young ages, I've been there and seen that, and it's just a lot of former players giving back to the program, a lot of dedicated moms and dads, I think Ali Larilla, who we have her son Sam on our team, and I know the work she does behind the scenes to make things go, all the scoreboard keepers, everything. Like you said, it's a village, and it's a really committed village. You look at the facilities that they have over there for the size of their town. It's unbelievable, the importance of hockey in that community, and we're really excited for them. And, who knows where this goes. They've produced a ton of players before. Hopefully this encourages, more players to join the sport, both girls and boys, and Moorhead continues to be the hockey factory that it is.
Cary Eades with us, former UND great and Assistant General Manager, Director of Hockey Operations for the Fargo Force. Big weekend for the Force. We'll get back to that in just a little bit. As we mentioned, the Spuds are going to get honored tonight. Your college team, it's the old, what cliche do you want? Do or die, whatever. Down in Omaha, they got to win 2 out of 3 and then win 2 down in St. Paul. It's they got some talent here, but I just think it shows how tough this NCHC is, and obviously Denver, they're doing what they always do, peak at the right time. It's going to be an interesting couple of weekends here.
It sure is. It was a tough loss, for UND last Saturday to Omaha. Cost them home ice, and they're going to have to go on the road now, which it doesn't seem to be a huge factor. They won some big home or road games this year, so as you mentioned, do or die this weekend down in Omaha. They've got to win that series to advance the NCHC Frozen Four next weekend in St. Paul. Interestingly enough, that'll be the last time they have the Final Four teams. From this year on forward, they're going to regional sites, which I think will be exciting. But, you think back to the old Final 5 days in the WCHA, that was as important as the national tournament almost. But, things changed, and you got to move on. And, getting back to UND, it's an important weekend for them. I'm sure Brad Berry and the crew will have them ready to play in Omaha.
Yeah, final thing on that. I guess when the WCHA disbanded, it was just a matter of time, right? Because there's so many drivable, teams within that area to get down to St. Paul. I guess there's just more flights now. It makes sense that they're maybe going to go to some home sites now, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of run its course. They tried to continue it, and after the WCHA kind of disbanded, and I think the regional sites will be exciting. The other leagues have gone to it, and I think also the teams all year that have worked hard to finish first, like Western Michigan, and in this year's instance, they deserve that home ice advantage to not only make the NCAA tournament, but try to earn as high a seed in the tournament as possible.
I totally agree. Well, it should be a fun one tonight. Tim Hennessy, as always, with the call coming up tonight at 6:30 here on KFGO. Cary, thanks so much for your time, as always. Appreciate it. Again, if you want to head to the Fargo Force tonight and tomorrow night, fargoforce.com for information on where to get tickets online or go to their box office, fargoforce.com.